I have news and I cannot contain myself. I'm going to apologize now if this gets a little emotional. Let's try this again. I'm shaking so much. I have news.
Good news, everyone.
I have been accepted as a recipient of the Writing Excuses 2024 scholarship for the Writing Excuses Minnesota trip.
Hooray!
This may not mean anything to you all, but this is the biggest news. I'm going to apologize now. I might get a little emotional as I tell you a little bit about this.
It's like emotions, heavy emotions.
I do plan on creating a video that goes through the process of what I did to apply for the scholarship, which includes more than just writing an essay. But in the meantime, I want to thank a few very special people that helped to make this happen. Bob Magoo, who I have talked about on numerous occasions on my channel. He has been a tremendous resource and help. He is so kind. After having interviewed him, which I will link in the blah blahs up here somewhere, he's just one of those personalities. You know how people have radar for certain things? I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like I have a radar for people who just turn things to gold. And he is one of those people. He's going to be a regular household name. The fact that he has been so kind to people who he interacts with, he is so helpful. He shares all his knowledge with anyone who's willing to listen. He has some really great ideas for marketing yourself as an author, as a content creator. The only reason I'm where I'm at today is because of him, because I follow a lot of his advice. And if I don't yet, I have plans to.
Plan? What plan?
Because being a content creator is just, it's a lot, especially when you're doing it all on your own as a side gig. Special thanks to Bob Magoo. Next special thanks goes to Journey Windrow. She is another author that I have interviewed. Again, links in the blah blahs. Journey is just a very special individual. I remember interviewing with her thinking that she has been through so much in her life. She has lived a lot of life, and yet she's not jaded by it. She still remains kind, and you can just see that in her, in the way that she moves, the way that she acts, the things that she does. She has been one of my big cheerleaders ever since we, had the chance to meet online and I did that interview. She's the one who connected me to Bob. She's one of the folks that connected me to Bob. She just shares what she can with everyone. She shares knowledge with me when she thinks it applies to me. She shares my stuff with other people when she thinks it applies to them. She's so generous with her time and her words. So I want to thank her. Last but not least, definitely not least, is Dungeon Studios. A lot of doors have opened for me since I started working with Dungeon Studios, and then I became their chief project director. I'm on their podcasts and probably more in the future. They gave me such a glowing letter of recommendation when it came time to collect those for my application. Again, all these details will be in another recording.
Just do it already.
Let me just explain what happened this morning. My son is in high school, not yet driving age. So I have to take him to school. I'm going to pause here real quick. I don't know if you're seeing this and people have just been ignoring this, but look at this guy. Look at this guy. Say hi to everybody. He doesn't want to leave me alone right now. So he's been sticking to me all day. I apologize, but I figure, you know what? Dogs are cute. My son needs to get ready for school. It's the first day back after Easter vacation or spring break or whatever you want to call it. Of course, he's a teenage boy. So it's, the alarm goes off. I wake him up every 10 minutes until an hour has gone by. And now we're rushing out the door. I'm in the car. I'm waiting for him to get in the car. I pull up email on my phone just to pull up email in general, just to do something to kill time until he gets in the car.
Take a breath.
I see just a very short little bit that says WXR, which I recognize as the Writing Excuses Retreat. And then I saw something in the headline that said acceptance. And I will show you a little screenshot, just a little capture here. I just immediately what is the word for this reaction? I'm a writer, I should know, but this is the reaction I had. And my son gets in the car, and as I'm backing out of the driveway to take him to school, which is maybe a 2-minute drive away, it's not a very long drive.
And it's in walking distance to the farmer's market.
My eyes start tearing up. I am overcome with emotion because this has been a long time coming, I guess. I don't know, that sounds a little conceited.
You? No.
When I tell you that I wake up at about 5:30 a.m. and then I pretty much start working from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed almost every night, and sometimes on the weekends, I am not stretching the truth by any means.
You don't have a normal life, baby.
When it comes to writing, when it comes to growing my channel, when it comes to trying to figure out what kind of content I can create for you all, I am just avidly hungry
I'm never gonna stop.
to make this become something. And it's not like it's lucrative right now.
Dude, where's the money? There is no money.
These are all the sweat, blood, and tears of my passion for world building and writing and sharing with everyone and educating. It is a labor of passion.
Because I love you, you idiot.
So for something to happen that feels like I'm being recognized, it's that little bit of dopamine, that little bit of attaboy, attagirl.
Wait, what?
I don't know, what do you call them these days? I just broke down in tears as I was driving my son to school.
These, my dumb friend, are your tears.
And my son, not knowing at all the context of my tears, becomes concerned and says, Mom, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I explained to him what happened. We get to his school, and as he gets out of the car, he gives me a huge hug. Of course, he tells me, like, Mom, you deserve this, but I need you to just stop thinking about the email until you get back home so that you can get back home safe.
Aww.
Which is just, come on, for a teenage boy, how sweet is that? I had to get my brain back on the road. Back home. Luckily, again, short drive. I get home and my husband's home from work. So I break down and I cry to him and I explain everything. And then I make my phone calls to the mom and the sister and everyone. What does this mean? I don't know. Do you care about the personal, like, I was crying this morning? So what does this mean? What is this scholarship? If you have not heard of the Writing Excuses podcast and you are someone in the business of storytelling, and I say that because with the jobs that I do, I am a writer, but I don't always write stories. I'm not always writing the next American novel. I am writing things that relate to tabletop, things that relate to content for my channel. So it's not always fiction. However, Writing Excuses is more than just fiction writing. It is a collection of well-known authors. At one point, Brandon Sanderson was attached to the podcast. So if you are a fan of Brandon Sanderson, go back to the older seasons to listen. They're a 15-minute podcast. They make it short and simple and sweet. And they're just a bunch of authors that connect on various topics about writing. And if you cannot afford a course or some kind of additional learning to up your skills when it comes to writing, I highly suggest the Writing Excuses podcast. Not only is it in a digestible format that's short and sweet so you can fit it into just about any part of your day, but I have learned so much from them. There's so many of them, by the way. I think there's like 20 seasons-ish.
Wow, that many?
So you can listen to them, and by the time you get through all 20 seasons, go back to the first, and whatever you learned back then, you're just relearning it again by osmosis. It is basically what I've done to help my career. They issue homework at the end of every episode. I have done some of their writing assignments. I can't say enough good things about them. Now, over the course of the years, they started doing these writing retreats. I believe it started with a cruise. It was a 1-week dedicated, time to write, meet authors that you admire, well-known authors, and work one-on-one with them in some cases. They're workshopping your writing. And on top of that, there are activities throughout the week that will refresh your creativity and connect you with other writers. And you can't ask for anything more.
Don't tell me how to feel.
I have always wanted to go to one of these retreats. My life being what it is, the timing wasn't always great, or I thought I could never afford that. Now, it was only a few years ago I realized that they have scholarship opportunities for these events. They typically issue 2 types of scholarships. One is for people of color, writers of color, and the other is for those that, forgive me if I forget the exact phrasing of the scholarship, but it's for like those who can't afford to go. It had never dawned on me to apply for one of these scholarships until this year.
You don't.
I don't know why, to be honest. And so that's one of the reasons I want to put the word out there for those of you who are aspiring writers. If you think you can't can't afford it, then that's not an excuse because they have options available to you. You just have to do a little additional work.
Work?
They have a retreat that is a cruise. I believe this year it's the Riviera. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have another one which is in beautiful wilds of Montana, Minnesota. It's on a property that's... Sorry, let me rephrase. Okay. 150 plus acres, I think, in Minnesota. It's beautiful. I've seen them do this retreat in the past. They have another one for Scotland. Man, would I have liked to apply for the one in Scotland, but it just happens that the only one that the timing works in my schedule is for Minnesota. I also love the idea of going to Minnesota. I love being in wilderness. I love camping. I have a mini homestead at home. Like, I love nature. If I had a choice between Minnesota and a cruise, I chose Minnesota. My understanding of what they do at these retreats is that they have various different events. The events are usually tailored for the location. So in Minnesota, I know that they will have some kind of a falconry event, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I don't know what else is involved. I'm down for it. Whatever happens, it's going to be amazing. I plan, if they will let me, I will plan to take as much video as I can and share with you the entire experience.
Paparazzi!
This scholarship is a fully paid scholarship that will pay for my flight to Minnesota. It will provide for my lodging the night before and my lodging at the retreat for the entire week and my flight back. Meals included. I will have to work with them because I'm gluten-free, but they said that they would work with that.
Some kind of gluten-free Santa.
There will be events in between writing and rest and relaxation and, networking events. There will be other such events like falconry, which is amazing. I am so excited. I'm so grateful. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to do or say. When you have confidence in yourself, which if you watch some of the videos in my channel this year, confidence is my word for the year. And when you have confidence in yourself and you apply to something like this, and you've had the life that I've led, which, by the way, if you want to know more about my personal life, I do share all of that in my blog, which I know sounds antiquated, algorithms being what they are. It's the one place I can share my personal life without worrying about ruining algorithms. Anyway, living the life that I've led, having confidence is really hard. And I'm really going to try not to ruin my makeup.
Here come the waterworks.
When I submitted, I felt really confident in the work that I submitted. I felt really confident in my essay and in the pieces of work that I submitted. And having the letters of recommendation meant a lot. The words that people put to paper to tell writing excuses that I am deserving meant a lot. And even though there's this strong feeling that I have a strong application, there's always that little voice of doubt that says, how many people have applied to this? What are your chances? And I'm a statistics person. It's kind of how I keep myself grounded. So, as confident as I was, I really didn't think that I would get accepted. So the fact that I have is mind-blowing. I just want to relay how appreciative I am and how excited I am, and that I hope this means good things for my future and good things for growing my channel and good things for a career in writing at some point.
Awesome performance, Homer. I smell Oscar.
Okay, how do you end a video like this when you've gotten all emotional?
How does it have a happy ending?
Take a look at my very cute dog because he just makes everything feel better, right? Can you tell them? Anyway, thank you, everyone. I will keep you all in the loop on how things go.